Thank you for joining me. My name is Anya Johnson, and I will be presenting to you my research project, Live Music, Large Talent, Local Community, the economic trends of Raleigh's local music scene. I will walk you through my research process and then provide some recommendations on how Raleigh can improve their local scene. I'm a senior at Meredith College in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm studying business and economics. I have a concentration in marketing and a minor in entrepreneurship. I've played piano for 16 years, and I've been in the Raleigh music scene for 4. For the last year, I've served as the membership coordinator at Emerge, located in downtown Raleigh. In summation, I like going to concerts, and I like playing music. From my experiences, I made a few general observations and wanted to explore this topic more. I reviewed credible sources and conducted my own primary case study research. In order to put a price tag on sound, you have to consider both the live and recorded music industries. The live music industry is any concert or experience, and the recorded industry is anything that can be replayed on demand, like a music video, a CD, or something off a streaming service. Music is an experience good, one that needs to be tasted before a consumer can assess its value. Alan Kruger describes this phenomenon as all that jazz, which contributes to the overall supply and demand of the music industry. This influences the cost that consumers will pay and the price that musicians will offer. Music also has the tendency to create externalities. You can experience an externality when you're walking down the street and you hear music coming from a concert venue. You didn't buy a ticket and you weren't the intended beneficiary, but if you liked it, that's a positive externality. Originally, musicians would price tickets low in order to develop a loyal fan base and promote their album sales. In this new internet-driven society, musicians have turned to offering more concerts and increasing the price at which they are offered. This concept is coined as the Bowie theory in Rockonomics by Alan B. Kruger. David Bowie predicted in 2003 that music would become a commodity, just like running water or electricity. With the integration of streaming services and internet radio, music is now accessible at one's fingertips, on demand. Apple also created a digital audio workstation software titled GarageBand, which is preloaded on all Mac computers. With this expensive software now provided to consumers at a very low cost, there's an increase in the supply of musicians now that more people are able to create music, even though they don't necessarily have instrument skills. In the prime of vinyls, sitting around a record player was a social experience. People gathered and listened to music, and now that music is at our fingertips, people are seeking out those same social experiences in other ways, primarily through going to live concerts. An analysis conducted for the book Rockonomics found a 160% inflation rate in the US dollar, but a 400% increase in ticket price. Let's put that into perspective. $10 in 1991 is worth $16 in 2020. Alternatively, a $10 concert ticket has now risen to $40. Concerts are getting more expensive, and people are willing to pay a lot more for that social experience. The internet also provided opportunities for local musicians to have access to a broader audience base in ways that just weren't possible before. The creation of social media provided a cheap promotional method and ways for musicians in different cities to connect. The International Federation of the Phonographic Industry, IFPI, recognized 8 important elements when it comes to making a music city. Raleigh possesses each element of a music city but lacks broad city infrastructure. Raleigh lacks mass public transportation, and parking options by local venues are slim. In Raleigh, there are many diverse genres, and the local culture promotes collaborations. Raleigh has the makings of a music city and has opportunities for growth. From my experiences at Emerge, I have had the chance to work with a lot of great local musicians in Raleigh. I interviewed Retro Candy, John Booker, who has been in multiple original and cover bands, and Chris DeLusso, who is primarily a cover musician.
The sun ain't nearly on the rise. We still got the moon and stars above.
Original musicians receive income depending on the amount of people that they're able to bring in for a show. If one 4-person band wants to make $100 each off a performance, they have to sell 50 tickets at $10 each in order to bring home $100. If there are 4-person bands, they're going to have to sell over 3 times as many tickets in order to all walk away with that same $100. Bars pay a standard fee to cover artists because their music is able to drive bar sales on the night that the performer comes. Raleigh's economy provides job security, education, and an environment of collaboration. Musicians can form a local following that just isn't possible in other tourist music cities such as Nashville or Atlanta. For the venues, I consider Deep South, which was open in Raleigh from 2007 to 2018. A bar that provided live music 5 days a week. On the other hand, I considered Emerge, which is a music venue founded on the premise of providing a place for local musicians to play. Emerge also functions as an art gallery, recording studio, and a shop providing stuff from local makers. Both venues employ a standard production fee deducted from ticket sales in order to still make a little bit of revenue off of these live performances that isn't from bar sales, but this typically only equals about 5 to 10% of total yearly income. Through all my research, I had 3 main findings. First, the internet increased demand for music venues and live musicians as people sought out these social aspects that used to come from sitting around a record player. Second, there's an increased supply of musicians now that everyone has music recording software at their fingertips if they have a Mac computer. Musicians are also able to create and share music through social media platforms, YouTube, and online streaming services. The accessibility of recorded music pushes the demand towards live concerts, as described earlier as the Bowie theory. Local musicians now are able to live sustainably in one localized area. Musicians have to act as entrepreneurs in this new society, controlling all aspects of recording, production, distribution, and merchandising. Musicians now have new opportunities, access, and availability to turn their hobby into a job. I have 3 main recommendations on how Raleigh can improve its local music scene. First, a consolidated website. This website would list all concerts going on in all venues in Raleigh and also provide venue information, transportation, and parking options. With more musicians and tourists coming into town, this information will be beneficial to those who aren't familiar with the city. Second, Raleigh can explore new outdoor music opportunities. Busking, or playing music in a public place, currently requires a permit in Raleigh. Relaxation of busking laws was beneficial to Asheville's music scene and can provide a lot of new opportunities for Raleigh as well. The City of Oaks has a large number of parks and outdoor places where there could be programs of outdoor open jams where it increases the visibility of local musicians and provides even more of an environment of collaboration. Finally, Raleigh really needs to find new ways to handle their infrastructure problem. Offering validated parking at one of Raleigh's many decks would increase the attendance and help our local music venues. If you're interested in helping out the Raleigh music scene in the meantime, a lot of great musicians and people have lost their main source of income due to COVID-19. If you would like to learn more about my research, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn.